Yo, what up, YouTube? Matrix, give me yours. What's up? I guess I'm back with another video. About the usual. Talking about the usual. I just made me some shorts. Some real short videos. I see that those get around pretty good. Real shorts, they get around pretty good. I guess I'll start taking the time out to make those, So that's cool, Yeah. So in this video, I'm going to talk about the sacrifice, and I'm going to reference this video to my last video I just made, Olakun Unchained, and about how this ain't free. A lot of Sunday school religious Christian folk, just a lot of just modern people, we got this notion of this is free, this is supposed to be free, this is God given and free. So we're gonna talk about, just consciousness and just the sacrifice it took, the sacrifice it takes to be conscious. Everything takes sacrifice. Nothing is free. Okay? Like I said in my last video, you can do the research on Marduk and Tiamat about how that whole mythological story was a huge sacrifice. Sacrifice is the capital word in this particular video. And I wanna really focus on something here, because we got this thing going out about the chosen one, or the elect, or these group of people that's on the planet that supposedly have the Christ energy. They're supposed to have this Christ energy. So, and what does that mean to be chosen? What does it mean to be the elect? And I think sacrifice is a big piece of the puzzle here, as far as everything I've been talking about on my channel. Different circumstances in the universe, different circumstances in the solar system, different cycles of the sun calls for different sacrifices and circumstances on the planet. It's just like the issue with the dinosaurs. The atmosphere changed. Therefore, they couldn't breathe. They wasn't conducive enough for the changing of the atmosphere and the cycles of the sun and the cycles of the solar system. So they went extinct. That's a sacrifice. There are different forms of intelligence, whether you can see it or not. Okay? You can't see time, but there it is. But yet you try to be deep and say there's no such thing as time and space, or space and time. No, yes it is. You can't say air doesn't exist, but it is. There it is. You're breathing it. You can't see it, but you can feel and you can see the result of it. You say time don't exist. but you see and you feel the result of this invisible existence of time. So we're not gonna do this. Not while I'm here. Okay? So, sacrifice. The whole Christ, Jesus Christ. Sacrifice. Okay? Nothing is free. And I think, like I said, going back to the cycles of the universe, the cycles of the sun, Cyclomancy will teach you everything you need to know about cycles, repetition, how to tap into the human brain, how to tap into the theta waves and the beta waves and the alpha waves, cycles of certain frequencies, tap inside the brain, cycles, sacrifice, cycles, sacrifice. That's what we are dealing with here. Those two terms deal with your condition. So, this chosen one, this elect, what are you elected for? What are you chosen for? This is why, in my videos, I never claimed to be any of that. I just said, hey, I'm just here to share. Take it or leave it. I'm just here to share. This is my experience on this particular path. This esoteric path. And through my experience, every time one makes a breakthrough, it's like a video game. Every time you make a breakthrough to the next stage or to the next level, things seem to get more difficult. It's not that I'm standing against anything. It's not that. It's just when one becomes aware, you see what's against you. And you act and you move accordingly. Therefore, you know better, you do better. So the sacrifice of the Christ, it's really fucked up when you think about humanity, how fucked up humanity is, and reason why humans needed moralism. You killed the Christ because it resembled strength. It symbolized strength and foundation. Something that is going against the known destructive narrative, or the known narrative that has a cycle that's keeping things the same way. When the Christ starts to come up and speaking against what is to be the known narrative, humans, and this is in your scriptures that you read and go to church to every day, humans, you have a habit, you have a routine habit of killing the Christ. Because a routine religious life suspends common sense. The archons of the Gnostics and the Hermetic texts understand this about humans and how ignorant humans are and arrogant. And you are going to be a puppet of chaos. So I came across a short the other day, and this young lady was speaking about esoteric consciousness is not about going against. And when you reach certain form of consciousness and understanding, or when you reach a certain awareness and processing it, you're supposed to not go against, or it's not about that, or no. Those of you who actually read the Hermetic and Gnostic scriptures, those of you who actually studied the Nag Hammadi text, those of you who understand this information, you know one thing. Humanity was supposed to be ignorant. Humanity was never supposed to gain any form of awareness of any type of esoteric cosmic knowledge. Humanity was supposed to be a perpetual state of being a child. And they use a female body as its perfecting agent for the narrative. Okay? Why? Because man carries a certain natural martyrdom energy, is to protect my woman. Therefore, the Archons would use this human woman as a perfecting agent of chaos if she allows it. As you see today, most of modern women are allowing themselves to be an agent of chaos. There is no need to control the man, because if the man is attracted to this particular female, then he's actually inferior to her. So therefore, what better way to keep humanity under a certain routine life? You use his woman as a perfecting agent of chaos. This is all about you and your energy being sacrificed to keep you in a child state. Humanity, whether you black, white, male, or female, it's just that they use women as puppets, agents of chaos for the demiurge. But why do you say that? Why do you feel like that's okay? I got a couple examples for you. What did the Oracle tell Neo? No. What did Neo find out about the Oracle? See, this is all about becoming aware. This is not about standing against anything. This is about the Christ energy becoming aware of what's against the Christ. This is not about being against anything. This is about being aware of what's Antichrist. The Antichrist is nothing more than ignorance. And ignorance is hiding behind lip gloss, big lips, voluptuous, glamorous, disrespect, clowning, clout. It hides behind all of that mess. Silliness. You name it. This is not about being against anything. This is about the Christ consciousness breaking out of certain destructive routine cycles that suspends common sense. Another example of this is the Prometheus. When he was trying to enlighten humanity or mankind, what happened? Zeus punished Prometheus. So, you're not going to get on here and get away with saying, oh, being esoteric consciousness is not about being against. No. Every time you enlighten yourself about the agenda of the gods, you will be punished. Every time you raise to another level of esoteric occult knowledge, there's going to be things in your particular life or on your path that's going to get more difficult. You're going to get angry. You're going to get depressed. Because you're seeing. Ignorance is bliss, happiness, childlike. Gnosis, knowing, Gnosticism, Hermeticism is all about growing, becoming aware, becoming an adult, evolving out of your humanity. In order to do that, you have to eradicate your routine life. This is Cyclomancy. It teaches you the routine cycles of the universe or the solar system. The solar system is connected to how we are as humans. The planet, the nature, we're all connected to the solar system, to the universe. And then depending on the cycles of the sun, certain sacrifices will be made. Certain sacrifices will be made depending on the cycles and the routine of the sun and the solar system. Certain sacrifices will be made. Nothing is free. God has nothing to do with your humanity and how you feel. That's a cosmic joke. That's a spiritual fallacy. And every video I make, I'm going to try my best to give out my sources. Read up on the Hermetic text. Read up on Gnostic texts. Gnosticism, Ancient Wisdom for the New Age. That's a good book. All that's in there. Tiamat, sacrificed. Therefore, Sublime Mythology, Bobby Hemmett, Sublime Mythology makes grotesque history. Mother Tiamat was sacrificed by Marduk. Therefore, everything we do on this planet will be a sacrifice. You will have to sacrifice something of you to get. You think that those ancient civilizations, and even today, them people over in Africa living off the land, eating mud pies, do you think that that's free? You think that those people were living off the land, hunting and gathering? You thought that was free? No, that's not free. Growing your own food, that took time. Time is a sacrifice. That wasn't free. All those cows and bisons that they had to hunt down and eat, that wasn't free. That took time, effort, and you had to kill that animal, that life force, to eat. That's not free. Now in modern days, we're living in a modern society, a technical society. We are civilized barbarians. We have currency now, is what I'm trying to say. Currency is a flow to help things flow. This currency that we use is what? A form of sacrifice to help things flow. Nothing is free. You go to church. The same people that say, oh, this is supposed to be free. But you go to church and you give your pastor money to pay the bills of that church. Nothing is free. Sublime mythology makes grotesque history. Thank you, Bobby. Thank you, Bobby Hemmett. Thank you so much. I'm glad. Dolores Cannon, I'm glad. I'm glad that I was able to find these particular people that led me to these particular books. Cyclomancy, Frank Rudolph Young. I'm sharing my information, my knowledge, and my experience on this path. That's all I'm trying to do. And I love it. I love it. I love it. Like I said, I should set up a whole platform in my house, but that's okay. It's all right. I'll keep making baby steps with this because I'm still learning. You see, and I don't want to get on here and try to get 10 million views when I'm still learning. Okay? Routine religious life suspends common sense. You can see this aspect in how people raise their children. You can see this aspect in people who make the same decisions, the same mistakes. If you want to escape karma and its karmic path, you have to wake up out of your routine life, doing the same things, getting the same results. If you want different results, you have to persevere. You want different results, you have to find another life equation. Because these gods and this information, those mythologies that we read about, those are nothing more than just equations. Even the Bible, it's a big esoteric equation. of the human body and how the body and the mind works. Christ, the sacrifice of the Christ, is nothing more than an alchemical process within the body. And yes, you have to sacrifice certain things about yourself to better the soul, to create and build up the Christ energy within the soul. You gotta fuck with the gods that resonate with your energy. Don't fuck with no gods that tell you to worship me. That's ignorance. I got two neighbors that live on the side of me. They're both Christians. I got one neighbor that's a Christian. She's more of a colonial type Christian. You know, she's living in these colonial times. She's suffering. Okay? And I got another set of Christians living beside me. They use Christianity as a scapegoat. Guess what? They're both struggling. They're both in poverty. Because the God that they are worshiping, the God that they are serving, is a selfish God. And it will keep you ignorant and in poverty. Meanwhile, fear-mongering you into a burning hell. Then lying to their children about certain things that they're not supposed to have because they're in poverty. Scapegoat. So they create a routine for their children. They keep repeating the same karmic routine cycle. Meanwhile, common sense is suspended. It's never evolving. Meanwhile, they're knocking on my fucking door. And this is real. They're knocking on my fucking door, asking for food. These are diehard Christians. I'm like, go pray. Go pray to your damn God. Go pray to your fucking God that you've been going to church to every Sunday for 50 years. Go pray. No, you knock on my door, the devil. You knocking on the devil's door, begging me for some food. This is what I'm talking about. This is the reason why I'm doing these videos. These people are demons. They bite the hand that feeds. They're arrogant. They're ungrateful. And they're followers. Demons are followers. They're not leaders. The devil must be a leader because he's not following God. The devil is being himself. Getting warm in here. Gotta take my gloves off. I'm just saying. You knocking on my door. Go pray. Go pray to whoever you pray to that you've been praying to get you out of poverty. You see? Go pray to whoever you praying to get you out of this karmic routine poverty. The sacrifice. Who's the sacrifice today? Well, some of you are saying it's the people that's on welfare and all this BS. You know what? You know, the lazy and all this, you know, the people who don't want to do nothing, you know. I used to think that way. But they seem to be insufferable. They seem to be really just insufferable. And when I read more and more and I meditate on the Gnostic text, it says that God wanted children. He wanted babies and fools. You know, that makes a lot of sense because when they bit off the tree and they saw for themselves, they were kicked out of the Garden of Eden. Wow. When Prometheus tried to help mankind, he was punished. Damn. I'm noticing the pattern here. I'm noticing a routine here. So everything else is just Hollywood. Ignorance is the only demonic energy down here on the planet that is possessing human beings. Ignorance. Everything else is Hollywood. Ain't no Annabelle doll. Ain't none of that shit in your closet. Ain't no fucking Michael Myers gonna come out of nowhere. Ain't none of that. Ain't no Conjuring. No. Ignorance. Ignorance. And it don't take money. It does not. You don't have to be Bill Gates to tap into the alchemical process of the soul. So when it comes to the sacrifice and the cycles of the universe and the cycles of the sun, and when it says that God said they wanted babies and fools and God protects babies and fools, that's telling me that this is reverse psychology. That's telling me that the Christ, the Gnostics, the group of people that are reaching for new heights, understanding that they're reaching and trying to persevere through their condition on this planet. The people that was chosen to be neurodivergent and see things and know things and do things. They're the sacrifice. They are the sacrifice. It's the ignorance that saves you. If you are well learned and if you see and you are aware of the atrocities, of the agendas of these archons, then you are the sacrifice. They had no choice but to take you out because you are interrupting the routine life that they set up for humanity. Study the solar system. Study the planets. Study the routine cycle of the planets in the solar system and how it orbits and circles around the sun. What is the sun? The sun emits light. It emits intelligence. So these people that are emitting Christ's energy, because Christ's energy is a consciousness that has never been heard of before. So an individual that's emitting Christ's esoteric energy, the narrative coming out of that individual has never been heard or seen before. That's Christ's energy, something totally different and whooping ass at the same time. TV, not following. That's demonic, ignorant, lazy energy. Saving, following. So when these people start emitting something other than the narrative, the archons, they get threatened. They're planetary gods. They're threatened because they cannot change. They have a routine cycle within the solar system of emitting, of circling light. This very light is the sun. The sun emits light. Therefore, this very light, which is intelligence or photosynthesis, is emitted on the planet Earth. But it's not enough nourishment for the soul. It's only enough for the lighthearted. It's only enough for the narrative. It's only enough for the surface. The surface dwellers. But it's not enough energy for Olokun, the Christ, the energy that is coming from below. The archons are here to manage that, to keep humanity in a certain routine cycle, because it puts your common sense and your higher senses to sleep. Therefore, deeming the Christ energy the sacrifice. This is why I made a video called Learning to Conceal Your Light. This is why they got a god and mythological story called Amun-Ra. Amun-Ra is the hidden one, the hidden god. What's hidden? What's hidden down here? The Christ. The Christ is hidden, and it's hidden within humanity. The planetary gods and the archons understand this. So what did they do? They set up routines in the solar system. Nature being a routine cycle. Winter, summer, fall, circles, routine. Therefore, humanity follows. Therefore, deeming humanity as demonic demons. Therefore, killing the Christ. Anything that is coming out of the individual that is challenging what is against the Antichrist. The Christ. That's the Antichrist. So there's no going against anything. It's becoming aware of what's against you, what's against your Christ consciousness. So therefore, the story of the Christ, the story of Prometheus, is nothing more than humans sacrificing their own to keep things the same. Why? Because they are puppets of the demiurge archons. And they are needed to keep things set up in order for how they set it up. So if you are walking around here, like myself, and you have a certain amount of consciousness and you're getting on AI and you're getting on social media, like myself, and you're speaking against what the known narrative is, you are chosen. You are chosen to be the sacrifice. So that's why I made a video. Learn to conceal your light. Protect your energy. Protect your light. Because the demiurge is nothing more than the same dinosaur that's walking around looking for something to consume. The same planetary demiurge, planetary gods are no different than the alligator looking to consume. Prometheus was punished because he was trying to help mankind. If mankind or humanity were to get light, enough light to nourish